Today we are going to deal with giant chromosomes. Giant chromosomes are exceptionally a large type of chromosomes and they are seen in certain type of cells during certain stages of their life cycle. Mainly we are going to deal with two types of giant chromosomes. First one is the polytene chromosomes and they are also known as salivary gland chromosomes, and the second type of giant chromosomes are Lamb-Rush chromosomes. Now we are going to study in detail about polytene chromosomes. Polytene chromosomes are given the name polytene because of the presence of multiple arms. Multiple arms are formed in these chromosomes by simple replication, and it is by the process of endomitosis which we are going to study in detail later on. And this is why they are called by the name polytene chromosomes, and they are also known as by the name salivary gland chromosomes. It is because these type of chromosomes, the polytene chromosomes, they are found in salivary glands of Drosophila, some insects, antipodal cells and suspensory cells. And since they are found in the salivary glands, they are known as salivary gland chromosomes. Salivary gland chromosomes or the polytene chromosomes were first observed by Balbiani in 1881, and it was observed in the salivary gland of larva of Chironomus. Now, these type of chromosomes are rich in DNA content. Now, as you can see in the picture, multiple arms are present. Hence, they are known as polytene chromosomes. The important feature of polytene chromosomes is their distinguished banding pattern. They are having characteristic banded appearance, a series of dense and dark bands alternating with light interbands. It is also, you can see the dark and light bands in the picture. The dark bands, 85% of the chromosomal DNA, that is the major portion of DNA is present in the dark bands, and only 15% of chromosomal DNA is present in the interbands or in the light bands. Only 15% of chromosomal DNA are present. Major portion of chromosomal DNA are present in the dark bands. Band region formed by merging of chromomeres of adjoining chromatids by condensation and supercoiling of chromatin filament. That is how the banding pattern or the band regions are formed. Now, as you can see, at some stages in the larval growth of these insects or the organisms in which polytene chromosomes or the salivary gland chromosomes are present, at some stages of their growth, specific bands, they enormously enlarge in size. Okay, as we told earlier, they are having certain bands, and certain bands they enlarge in size and they bulge out and they form some certain swellings, and these swellings are known as chromosomal puffs. They are formed by uncoiling of the chromatin filaments. The puffs are formed by uncoiling of chromatin filament. The puffs are transcriptionally active expansions of chromatin. So they are active centers of synthesis and accumulation of RNA, which means the chromosomal puffs they are rich in RNA, as well as they are also some cases they are also rich in DNA content. In some puffs, the chromatin filaments, they are drawn out to a series of lateral loops. Okay, in some cases, in some puffs, they may form lateral loops, and in such case, that loop formation, and it is known as Balbiani rings. The loop formation is known as Balbiani rings. So once again, I will repeat it for you. At certain stages of the growth of insect or the organisms which contain polytene chromosomes, certain bands, their specific bands, we have already told that they are having banding pattern. So the specific bands, they enlarge enormously and they bulge out and they form swellings, and these swellings are known as chromosomal puffs. These puffs are transcriptionally active and they are rich in RNA and DNA. Now, in this case, some puffs some puffs of the chromatin filaments are drawn out as series of lateral loops, and these lateral loops are known as Balbiani rings. I hope it's clear. Now mainly four type of chromosomal puffs are seen. First one is the stage specific puffs. It will appear during a particular stage of development, such as molting. Molting is a stage of development, and these stage specific puffs are seen at certain stages of the life cycle. Now the second type of puffs are tissue specific puffs, which are active in one tissue. Okay, they may be found only in one tissue of that organism. Next one is the constitutive puffs, which are active almost always in a specific tissue. And the last one is environmentally induced puffs. These appear in response to an environmental change such as heat. Okay. Now, major events which are occur during puffing. First one is excessive accumulation of acidic proteins. Okay, first of all, what happens? Excessive accumulation of acidic proteins takes place. Second one, detachment of DNA bound basic proteins to expose DNA for transcription. Third, despiralization and decondensation of chromatin filaments occur. And finally, active synthesis and storage of RNAs. So these are the four major steps or four major events which are occurring during puffing process. First one, excessive accumulation of acidic proteins takes place. Secondly, detachment of DNA bound basic proteins to expose the DNA for transcription. Third, despiralization and decondensation of chromatin. And finally, active synthesis and storage of RNA. Insect molting hormone ecdysone induces puffing. So the hormone ecdysone, it is responsible for puffing in case of insects. Puffs and Balbiani rings are regarded as active centers of DNA duplication and RNA synthesis. Now, what is the significance of polytene chromosomes? Banding patterns were used to help map chromosomes, identify small mutations, and in taxonomic identification. They are now used to study the function of genes in transcription. So this is the significance of the polytene chromosomes. And within the polytene chromosomes, their banding pattern is more significant. And here in the diagrams, you can see the chromosomal puffs and also the Balbiani rings. It is very clear in this diagrams. So this is all about polytene chromosome. Now moving to a process called endomitosis. It is very important while we are discussing the polytene chromosome. Endomitosis, it is the repeated duplication, process of repeated duplication of chromatids in geometrical progression without accompanying cell division. So this is what is happening in the case of polytene chromosomes. Earlier, while we are discussing polytene chromosomes, we have already told that polytene chromosomes, they are having multiple arms, and this is the reason, the endomitosis is the reason for formation of that multiple arms. In case of polytene chromosomes, this is happening, that is repeated duplication of chromatids is happening in geometrical progression, but no cell division takes place. Okay. DNA and chromatids undergo rounds of replication without spindle formation, disappearance of nuclear envelope, separation of daughter chromatids, and division of parent cell. Endomitosis makes chromosome multi-stranded and increases its DNA content nearly 1000 times or more. So this is what is happening in the case of polytene chromosomes. So the chromosomes become multi-stranded, and also what happens automatically, the DNA content also increases. For example, endomitosis. Example for endomitosis is human liver cells. Within human liver cells, we could see endomitosis process, and also in the macronucleus of ciliates, the same process is taking place. Now moving to the next type of chromosome, that is the Lamb-Rush chromosomes. Lamb-Rush chromosomes was first observed by Fleming in 1882, and they was named and described by Ruckert in 1892. And these Lamb-Rush chromosomes are found in the diplotin stage of primary oocytes. They are found in oocytes of insects, sharks, amphibians, reptiles, and birds. And one more thing, the Lamb-Rush chromosome of found in the oocytes of salamanders are the largest of all non-chromosomes. Okay, so the Lamprecht chromosome, which is found in the oocyte of salamander, is the largest of all non-chromosomes. And the Lamprecht chromosomes are larger than polytene chromosomes, and it is more visible under a microscope than the polytene chromosomes. A Lamprecht chromosome consists of a central. Now it is explaining about the structure of the Lamprecht chromosome. A Lamprecht chromosome, it is having a central axis and paired series of loop-like lateral extensions. The central axis consists of two bivalent homologous chromosomes, each with two chromatids, and they are held through chiasmata. And these things are very clear in the first diagram, homologous pair, which is given here. The chromatids are drawn out to paired loops, and central axis extend to loops as loop axis. Loop axis is only a single chromatid of one of the chromosomes. Now, the lateral loops, these are active centers of RNA synthesis, which means genetic transcription. They have a major role in genetic transcription. Each loop may contain one or more transcription units. Most of newly synthesized RNA molecules associate with protein and form a ribonucleoprotein matrix. So, they are having a very important role in RNA synthesis. Now, the loops are composed of active DNA, and these DNA content, they are meant for synthesis of large amount of yolk. So lateral loops or the Lamprecht chromosomes, they helps in synthesis of yolk and other substances required for the growth and development. Lamprecht chromosomes are also actively involved in protein synthesis. So these are some of the significances of the Lamprecht chromosomes. So this is all about the giant chromosomes. Thank you.